You know, it reminds me of a song where David said about one of his friends that betrayed him. He says, his words were smoother than butter, yet they were drawn swords. So his words were smooth like butter, but in his heart, it was like swords. He wanted to betray him. So you got to be careful. Don't get caught up with the speech of somebody. Make sure, wait a minute, does this person, why is this person even associating me? What is his or her agenda? Why are they here? Are they trying to scheme me? Are they trying to, undermine me? What are they trying to do? So just be aware of that.
Hey, but I'ma preach the word and none of that hate gon' work. Hey,
Hold up.
now I don't know what you heard, but don't believe anyone that can't show you the word.
Give me a thumbs up. Okay. What's this? Proverbs 26, right? Let's continue to get more insight. Remember, this is like I said during prayer. There's going to be situations, people that we're going to encounter, and we need wisdom. We can't go by our reasoning or no reasoning. We got to make sure how to deal with this situation, how to deal with this person. And that's what this book is about. A lot of Christians, they believe in Jesus, they believe in God, but they have nothing in them. So when these times comes, they make a lot of bad choices, a lot of bad decisions. And we don't want to be that person, Then we learn the hard way. We don't want to learn the hard way. Let's learn from the wisdom that God gave Solomon. So when we in that situation, we don't learn the hard way. We learn and we apply it, and we don't have to deal with the repercussions of our bad choices that we made for lack of knowledge. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. That's what Amos said. All right. Proverbs 26:1. Like snow in summer or rain in harvest, honor is not fitting for a fool. All right. So imagine if it snowed in the summer or the harvest time. You're trying to bring in the harvest, like you have tomatoes or whatever, corn, and it just rains. That's how it is to give honor. Honor is not fitting for a fool. Don't honor a fool. Don't be like, oh, hey, let me shake your hands. Don't say, oh, I'm trying to show the love of Jesus. Don't give a fool any honor. Just don't even acknowledge him. That's what this verse is saying. And this is what we need to apply. Because the Christian philosophy is, oh, I just got to love everybody. Even this fool, I'm supposed to love, hi, fool. No. Don't, when you know a guy is foolish, don't give him honor. You might greet him, but don't be like, oh, sit down, oh, you're great. No. Honor is not fitting for a fool. Verse 2. Like a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse does not come to rest. Click on that, verse 2. I think the ESV renders it better. Now here it's talking about, is using the illustration of a sparrow. A sparrow is one of those small birds that just, when you see it, it's just flying everywhere. Like the eagle, they fly in a certain path, or even a stork. But the sparrow is just going everywhere. But here it says, a curse that is causeless does not alight. Or I like the New Living Translation. It says, an undeserved curse will not land on its intended victim. So in other words, if you curse somebody and they did nothing wrong, it's not gonna land. It's not gonna happen to that person, that curse. Especially if there's undeserved. The person didn't do anything for that curse. So we got to be careful not to curse somebody that didn't do anything wrong. We might have heard some rumor. We're speculating. We're prejudging somebody. So we condemn them. We say, oh, somebody stole my Red Bull. I think it's him because he always drinks Red Bull. I hope something bad happens to him. That's an undeserved curse. We got to be careful not to do that. It will not come to rest. In the end, that person will be vindicated. All right, 3. A whip for the horse. You ever see like Kentucky Derby? You see the rider whipping the horse. A bridle for the donkey. A bridle is something that they put in the mouth to guide them. And a rod for the backs of fools. All right. This is what a fool deserves. Rods. All right. Not, let's just be gracious and merciful and compassionate. According to Proverbs, what a fool deserves is a beat down, right? That's what he deserves. So when you see a fool getting beat down, you ever like driving by and then you see 3 guys beating up a guy? That guy's probably a fool. He did something stupid. He either stole from them or he's doing illegal things, and now his competition is out there beating him up. That's what he's getting. All right. That's what and that's what they deserve. Don't be like, oh, I feel bad for them. No, this is their just rewards. Like the whip for a horse and a bridle for a donkey and a rod for backs of fools. Verse 4 and 5 are connected because it sounds weird because it's saying don't answer a fool. Then it says answer a fool. It's like, wait a minute. You just told me not to answer a fool. We got to get the idea that Solomon is trying to convey here. Right? Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. All right, so what is Solomon doing here? One minute he's saying, don't answer a fool according to his folly, and the next minute he's saying, answer the fool according to his folly. He's trying to say, look, don't answer a fool according to his folly. In other words, the way he's presenting his argument, don't present it. If he's finger pointing and threatening, and don't answer this fool the way he's addressing you. Don't become like the temperament that he has, or you yourself will be just like him. In other words, the way he's acting, you're acting out. Guess what? Now you're acting foolish. But Solomon says, look, you still got to answer a fool according to his folly. Why? Or else he'll be wise in his own eyes. In other words, if you don't respond, the fool will say, I won the debate. I was right all along. That's why you got to answer him. You got to give a response. Don't be like, well, I don't want to deal with him. He's annoying. No, because he'll walk away saying, I won. Look, I shut him up. He's quiet. No, make sure you answer the fool, because he'll be wise in his own eyes. He'll think he won. He'll be like, yeah, I knew it. I knew it all. You don't know nothing. You still got to answer the fool. But don't answer him according to his folly. If he's cursing you out, don't start cursing him out. If he's threatening you, don't threaten. But you got to respond, or else he'll walk away thinking that he got it all. He won the argument. And that's a command. I know a lot of people don't want to get involved with issues that they don't want to deal with it. But when a fool wants to confront you about something, you got to address it. That's a command, whether you like it or not. I know some people just don't want to handle it. They don't want the stress. But Solomon says, no, you got to answer a fool according to his folly. Verse 6, sending a message by the hands of a fool is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. In other words, if you're trusting somebody to be dependable for a task, you're saying, look, I got a task, send this message. Back then, sending a message was like a mailman. They had to be like a courier and send that message to another person. If you decided, look, I'm a hire, or I'm a trust this fool to send this message for this task, it's like you cut your own feet or you drank poison. So the thing is, don't trust a fool when it comes to something you need, to have some trust in. Don't trust if you're depending on a fool for something that's urgent. You might as well just cut off your feet or drink poison. That's how it's going to feel. So why are you going to put yourself in that situation and say, well, I have no body right now, so I'll let him do it? No, don't do it, please. Verse 7. Go click on 7, because I like I think is the King James version. 7 is a scroll down. It says, like the legs of the lame that hang limp is a proverb in the mouth of fools. It says, yeah. It's like, you ever heard like a comedian say a joke and it just went flat and it's like, nobody's laughing. That's how it is when a fool tries to give a wise saying. It just comes off lame. It just comes off stupid. So they think like, oh, I got a wise saying. I know what I'm gonna say. You know what? Let me think of one. Like there's a lot of foolish people that say, you know what? Leave your wife and get a better model. Update. Upgrade your wife, like you upgrade your phone. That's lame. It sounds good to other fools that I'm gonna upgrade my wife. I'm gonna upgrade. And now you're gonna go through a divorce. You're gonna pay half your income. You might have to pay child support. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm gonna upgrade, but it's very lame. Now, wise person be like that's just idiotic. But another fool, they'll think, wow, that's some wisdom, man. Upgrade. I remember there was a song. I didn't hear it, but I heard the commercials. Upgrade by Beyonce, basically upgrading the person you're with. It comes off lame. All right, go back. Let's see, where am I? 8. Like tying a stone in a sling is the giving of honor to a fool. A sling back then was a weapon, and you use a sling, you put a rock and a stone so you could fling it, but you tied the stone. So basically you're trying to throw this, use a sling, but the stone is stuck in it. That's how it is in giving honor to a fool. It's the sling has become worthless. You've made it into, I don't know, back in the day we had like this paddle ball where it was like a string and a ball, it just go back. That's what you turn your sling to. That's how it is when you give honor to a fool. So again, go back, scroll up to verse 1. It says, like snow in the summer or harvest or rain in harvest, honor is not fitting to a fool. Now go back down. What verse is that? 9? No, 8. It says, like tying a stone in a sling is giving honor to a fool. Look, we're not supposed to give honor to a fool. Bottom line, this is like the second time Solomon's trying to reiterate. Don't be like, well, he's foolish, but he's okay. You want to sit down next to him? No, don't give him honor. Just greet him and that's it. But don't say, oh, you have everything. Welcome into my house. No, it's not fitting. Like tying a stone in a sling, making it useless, is like giving honor to a fool. Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Now, it's bad enough if you ever touch like a rose and it has thorns and you grab it. It hurts, and you'll scream. But imagine if you're drunk and do it. Oh, you'll be like, oh. You'll be drunk people. I mean, they become like they have superpowers. They could hold it and they could squeeze it. But even then, that's how it is. The proverb or a wise saying in the mouth of a fool. It just comes around. Even if they have a wise saying, because it's them, it's like it's like they say, look, you should love your wife, man, and he doesn't even love his wife. You don't see his wife. You don't even pay alimony or child support. But he tells somebody, look, man, you really should love your wife and kids. That's how it is. It's like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand. It's like, really, guy? I mean, thanks. I mean, that's a true proverb, but look at the source. Yeah. So that's how it is. Verse 10. Like an archer who wounds at random is one who hires a fool or a passerby. Like an archer who wounds at random, it reminds me of friendly fire. You're in a war zone and somebody's just shooting randomly. That's how it is if you hire a fool. We read earlier about hiring a fool to be a messenger. You hire a fool, you say, what, I need somebody to do a task for me. Let me hire this fool. Or a passerby. A passerby back in those days, and even today, it's somebody that's out there that's looking for work. But the thing is, the reason why they're out there is because there's something wrong. They wouldn't be passing by. You wouldn't have to pass by them if there was not something wrong in their life. They either, are doing drugs, or, their status, they're not supposed to be here, or they're criminal and they can't get a job. That's how it is if you hire somebody like that. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. And if you're going to hire somebody or invite somebody to do something for you, you got to be aware of that. Don't be like, oh, yeah, he uses drugs, but, he paints well. Yeah, he might paint your house well, but all of a sudden you're going to be missing your rings or some jewelry or money. That's how it is when you hire a passerby or a fool. Like an archer who shoots at random. Friendly fire. That's they just fire everywhere. That's how it is. So be careful. Don't be like, well, I just need some help. So, hey, help me out. No. 11. As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly. You know, in other words, when a dog throws up, you see it. It starts eating its own vomit. It's disgusting. You know, that's how it is when a fool repeats the thing that he keeps doing that's hurting him. Instead of saying, you know what, I got to stop doing this. It's obvious it's hurting me. It's destroying me. No, they continue doing it. They still continue doing the drugs. They still continue sleeping around. They still continue, whatever foolishness they're into, they repeat it. They're like that dog eating the vomit in God's eyes. 12. Do you see a person wise in their own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for them. So if you ever encounter somebody that think they got it all figured out, Mr. Know-It-All, and even worse, you're trying to show them in the scriptures they're wrong, and they're like, no. Don't worry. I know what I believe. I know why. I know my views. No, thank you. You know what God says? That person who's wise in their own eyes, there is more hope for a fool than for that person. Why? Because that person already got it figured out. You know, he's not going to change. He's not going to get corrected. He got it all figured out. He's wise in his own eyes. There's more hope for a fool. Now, when we read the book of Proverbs, you read about a fool got to have his back beaten. You know, even 50 lashes won't take 100 blows won't take out the foolishness of a fool. But here he's saying that there's more hope for a fool than for somebody who got it all figured out. So we got to be humble enough sometimes to say, you know what, am I that person? Do I walk around like, I don't need to hear that. I got it all figured out, because that's a situation. You're in a very bad situation. All right, 13. All right, the next 4 verses have to do with sluggards. You know, this chapter is like a roast for sluggards, a roasting. You know, in the comedy field, roast is when there's a person there, and then there's these like 5 or 10 comedians that just clown the guy that's supposedly the guest of honor. These 4 verses is clowning on the sluggard, a lazy person. All right, verse 13. A sluggard says, there's a lion in the road, a fierce lion roaming the streets. So in other words, what is Solomon trying to convey here? That a sluggard would find any excuse not to do something. They cannot go outside. They cannot go to the market. They cannot go to work because, look, COVID is out there, and I might die, or there's a lot. I heard there's a lot of shootings out recently, and so they don't do nothing. They use any excuse. Of course, they might have been lying. There were lions probably out in that vicinity, but they probably were out there once every, 5 months. But to this guy, that's an excuse not to do nothing. See, I can't do it. There's a lion. There might be a lion out there. I don't want to die of a lion attack. 14. This one is funny. As a door turns on his hinges, so a sluggard turns on his bed. I could see the sluggard there just turning left and right, trying to get comfortable, trying to get the right position to take a nap. That's how a sluggard is. As a door turns on his hinges, you open the door and you close it. That's how he is in bed. He just keeps going back and forth because that's the way he is most of the time. And we got to catch ourselves. We're supposed to be working throughout the day. I can stand you had a rough night and everything, but if this is your position and somebody asks you, what did you do today? And you're like, well, I was just in bed and just tossing, I was on my phone, maybe I was reading a book. That's what a sluggard does. Verse 15. A sluggard buries his hand in the dish. He is too lazy to bring it back to his mouth. Oh my gosh, Solomon's like exaggerating here. Back then they didn't use spoons and forks. They used their hands to eat. So he got his hand in the bowl, but he's so lethargic and tired, he can't even bring, and he probably ate a lot, because the reason why he's digging his hand in the bowl is because he wants to eat. And if you're hungry, you would pick it up and eat, put it to your mouth. But he's probably so full that he's still going in for more, but instead of saying, you know what, I think I've had enough, he has it there, but he's so full he can't even bring it up. He got the itis and he just can't bring it up. That's how lazy a sluggard is. They can't even bring it. They go halfway. They went down, but they just can't come up. So we got to make sure we finish the task, not do a half-butted effort on anything. Make sure you complete the task. 16. A sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 people who answer discreetly. So a sluggard, he's in a bad situation, but if he's confronted, oh, he got it. He got all the answers. He thinks there's something wrong with you, that you're off. He's wiser than 7 people who have discretion, who answer discreetly. You know, and it's sad. You know, that's a come when you encounter a sluggard and you try to correct him and you realize, look, he's not going to be corrected. That's what he's doing right there. It's pointless. Just pray for him and move on, because he's in a very bad position. 17. Like one who grabs a stray dog by the ears is someone who rushes into a quarrel not their own. Okay, this is a very important verse, because a lot of believers, they want to be the good Samaritan. Say, you know what, I just want to help. And you know, we read the story about the good Samaritan and we get convicted, and we're like, you know, I just want to, if I see a situation that I can help somebody, I want to help. And that's great. But one situation you should not get yourself involved in is when there's a quarrel that's not your own. If there's 2 people quarreling, if there are 2 people throwing hands, don't walk up to them and say, you know what, Jesus said, blessed be the peacemakers, so I'm going to go there and try to break it up. No. Like one who grabs a stray dog by the ears. I could just imagine, you know, a dog is walking down the street, minding his own business. It belongs to nobody. And then these kids are goofing off and saying, you know, I'm going to pull the dog's ear. What do you think that dog's going to do? He's going to get aggressive. He might bite them. That's what you're doing if you're getting involved in a quarrel. You know how many videos I've seen in active self-protection on YouTube where 2 people are going at it, and then a 3rd person comes in, tries to break it up, and then he dies in the process? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't think you're the good Samaritan. All you do, Solomon is warning you in his wisdom. Yes, have that spirit of I want to intervene, I want to help. That situation, stay out of it. Call the police. Say, or call the authorities. But don't get involved. Don't get personally involved. That's what God is saying. All right? 18. Like a maniac shooting flaming arrows of death is one who deceives their neighbor and says, I was only joking. Like a maniac shooting flaming arrows of death is one who deceives their neighbor. So in other words, the neighbor trusts you. A neighbor, when you live with somebody, you're hoping he's a good person. And then you decide, you know what, I'm gonna deceive him. I'm gonna take his lawnmower. And then he's like, oh snap, where's my lawnmower? And then he sees it in your backyard. And then he say, yo, what you doing with my lawnmower? Oh, I was just moving it. It's no big deal. No, don't be like that. Because you're like one who, like a maniac shooting flaming arrows of death. You're like, boom, boom. Because he's going to walk out saying, I can't trust this guy. Yeah, I was hoping I have a good neighbor and, maybe one day barbecue, hang out, but I can't. This guy, he's shooting arrows at me. We're supposed to be friendly at least, and yet I feel like he's a threat. So don't ever do things and then say, well, I was just joking. I was just kidding. Yeah, I parked in your parking spot, but, I was kidding. I knew it was my spot. I had my visitors parked there. No, don't do that, please. 20. Without wood, a fire goes out. Without a gossip, a quarrel dies down. One thing, again, book of Proverbs is watch out for these gossipers. They'll destroy a lot of things. And the thing is, we're going to read a little bit later. It talks about that gossip. When you feel somebody's going to bring out a gossip about somebody, you feel like, ooh, this is good. You cannot have that spirit. Why? Without wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel dies down. Don't invite gossip into your life. Say, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about this person. I don't want to hear what they did over there. It's none of my business. It's, whatever they do, they got to give account. That's the mentality we got to have. All right, 21. As charcoal to embers and as wood to fire, so is a quarrelsome person for kindling strife. All right, so if you ever encounter somebody who likes to argue, likes to be very intense, watch out, because they're like a charcoal to embers. Embers is like a charcoal, that a piece of wood that still has light in it. It's not burning, but it still has light. But if it touches that charcoal, all of a sudden the charcoal is going to flame up. Like charcoal to embers and as wood to fire, so is a quarrelsome person for kindling strife. So watch out for that quarrelsome person. Person likes to debate, always fight, always, bringing up topics. Not bringing up topics to like, try to get understanding. No, they want to bring up topics because they already have the answers, and so watch out, because that person, he's going to kindle strife, and he's going to be like fire to wood. He's going to cause an inferno in your house. 22. This is the verse I talked about. The words of a gossip are like choice morsels. They go down to the innermost part. See what? And this is a warning for us. When you hear somebody gossip about somebody, you want to hear it. It's like choice morsels. Choice morsels is like, I think of like a watermelon. You cut up a watermelon, and then you want the center of the watermelon. You don't want the cut of the watermelon that's close to the shell, because it doesn't taste like you want the choices of the watermelon, the one that tastes the sweetest. That's how gossip is. So when you hear it, you're like, ooh, yeah, that. But you gotta fight that urge, because it does a lot of damage. We just read that it causes where is that at? Go up.
Go down to the inmost.
Yeah, I think it's go up some more. Okay, it's an animal, the dog. Go back down. Let's see, a slug or bird. Keep going. Right here, yeah, 17. Like one who grabs a dog by the ears is someone who rushes. No, that's not it. But anyway, there was a verse that talked about a quarrelsome, not a quarrelsome, a gossip. Go down. Or in 20, without wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel dies down. The thing is, in the verse we just read, gossip is like choice morsels. When you by nature, we want to hear it. That's to come when you go to the supermarket, that People magazine and the World magazine, all these gossips magazines are right in front of you. Why? Why do you think they've been there? Since I was a kid, they've been there in the checkout aisle. Why? Because they know that people like to hear gossip. It's choice morsels. But in the verse we just read, it causes a fire. So don't do it. Don't get caught up in it. It's a craving that you got to inhibit. Say, what? I don't want to hear it. Or, what is George Clooney up to? Say, no. I don't want to hear it. Even that. Just try to realize that it is choice morsels, but you should avoid it. All right, where am I? 23. Like a coating of silver dross on earthenware are fervent lips with an evil heart. Click on that. Okay, so the image is using here is there's a clay pot. It's just made out of clay, but the person puts like silver on top of the clay. It says this in the NLV: smooth words may hide a wicked heart, just as pretty glaze covers a clay pot. So in other words, somebody might give an appearance like, I'm with you. I got your back. I'm there 1,000%. They have smooth words that may hide a wicked heart. They're not really for you. They might have an agenda. They might want to backstab you in the end. Like smooth words may hide a wicked heart, just as a pretty glaze covers a clay pot. They're like the pot. Deep down, they're that clay. But because they have those smooth words, they're like the beautiful silver on top of the clay. And if you're not perceptive, you'll get caught up in the outside silver furnishing, the glaze, the cover, and not realize, wait a minute, there's clay in there. They have a wicked heart, but they're just coming off with smooth words. It reminds me of a song where David said about one of his friends that betrayed him. He says, his words were smoother than butter, yet they were drawn swords. So his words were smooth like butter, but in his heart, it was like swords. He wanted to betray him. So you got to be careful. Don't get caught up with the speech of somebody. Make sure, wait a minute, does this person, why is this person even associating me? What is his or her agenda? Why are they here? Are they trying to scheme me? Are they trying to, undermine me? What are they trying to do? So just be aware of that. Go back. 24 we're up to. Enemies disguise themselves with their lips, which is similar to what it said in verse 23. Enemies disguise themselves with their lips, but in their hearts they harbor deceit. Again, we got to be careful. Don't get caught up in the speech of somebody. Make sure you ask yourself, be more perceptive and say, what is their agenda? Why are they even bothering me? They sound smooth. They're smiling. They're, we're having long conversation. But why are they doing this? What is their motive behind what they're saying? 25, though their speech is charming. Again, these three verses are connected. Though their speech is charming, do not believe them, for 7 abominations fill their hearts. Again, Psalm is trying to pound into you. Look, don't get caught up in the speech of somebody, because they got plans. 7 abominations. They want to do 7 detestable things against you. But here they are smiling at you. Oh, you're wonderful. And they want to defile you. They want to rob you. They want to, get information about you. Be careful. Their malice may be concealed by deception, but their wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. So their malice, their evil intent, might be concealed by their smiling face and, you got a great house, you got wonderful kids. It might be concealed, but in the end, their wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. Everybody will know that person is wicked because of what they're going to do. Once they discover your secrets or betray you or undermine you or steal or lie about you, they're going to be exposed. Their agenda is going to come out, what they really were about in the end. And even that person that was deceived by them, they're going to realize, man, this guy, he was tricking me. He was deceiving me all this time. 27, whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them. So in other words, look, don't try to try to destroy somebody, because if you try to destroy somebody, guess what? You're going to be destroyed too. If you dig a pit so they could fall in it, guess what? You're going to fall in it. The plan that you had is going to backfire, and you're the one that's going to suffer. So, don't do that to people. I'm hoping as believers we don't have that mindset, but a lying tongue hates those it hurts. Right? So look, anybody who lies about you, they hate you. It's not, they misunderstood or, they were just upset. No, a lying tongue hates those it hurts. And a flattering mouth works ruin. Look, we live in an age where they say, we need positive affirmation. We need words of encouragement. Solomon here is saying, look, flattering words works ruin. What's a flattering word? Flattering word is you're saying things, about somebody and over hyping them, and you're not even addressing it. You're overlooking anything that's bad. Beware of those people. Beware of them for your soul, because you might start saying, I'm not that bad of a person. This person says I'm great. You want people around you that will tell you the truth, even if it's not flattering. Why? Because a flattering mouth will work ruin. It's going to destroy you, because you're walking around thinking, oh man, these people are saying I'm a wonderful guy. I'm great. But this guy over here, this Bible thumper, he says I'm awful. I'm not going to listen to him. Guess what? You're going to be ruined, because you wanted to hear the flattering mouth. And also for us that we don't have flattering mouths. We got to, like I said, we live in an age where people don't want to say, they feel like, oh, we just got to be positive. Speak life. They take that verse in Proverbs, they speak life. Like it means just focus on the good, ignore the bad. No, that's a flattering tongue. And that kind of tongue will work ruin. If somebody's doing bad, they need correction, they need rebuke, they need training in righteousness. But to overlook it and say, no, I'm just going to be positive, be positive, be positive, you're going to ruin this person. So we'll end there. Anybody has a comment, observation, concern?
I don't think